Okay, so the idea of this rogue deck that I made here, the secret rogue deck, is of course you have the synergy between the private eye, the gravedigger, and the secrets. And what I used to play in this list a lot is I used to play more proactive secrets that gave me a little bit more board. But what I want now is I want a lot of card draw. And the reason why I want a lot of card draw is so that I can have more spells. And when I have more spells, I can more often make use of the mana cheat with preparation and bone spike, so I can get out the prison breakers and the yogs a little bit earlier to help me control the board. The reason why I did end up cutting the sticky situations, which is a really good secret I was running before, is because I feel like a lot of decks are very good board clear now, and having access to card draw isn't quite as important to having access to like an additional minion. You could of course run, instead of the cheat death, you could run the sticky situation, but I decided to go for the cheat death here now because I wanted even more synergy with my minions. The idea basically here is that I have a bunch of like minions that are really good with breakdance and shadow step, like the grave diggers, the prison breakers, the private dice, really strong death rattle minions, and essentially Yogg at the end is super strong with breakdance that I want to draw from my deck as quickly as possible, spend a lot of mana on spells, and then use Yogg to like overwhelm my opponent and finish the game out with Astalor and Shadow Step. The Mulligan guide for this deck is pretty simple. You keep Concoctors, you keep Ghoulish Alchemists, you keep Potion Belts, and you keep Private Eye. Private Eye, of course, gets you like more card draw later, and Potion Belt and Ghoulish Alchemist are just very good early game. Additionally, on top of that, another card that you can keep in some circumstances, I think, is like Perjury and Ghastly Gravedigger are really important against Druid. If you face a lot of Druid, like a combo of Cheat Death and Gravedigger, or Perjury and Gravedigger, they're very nice together because the secret can't be activated before you turn 3, and you can use the Gravedigger to get rid of their like buffed spell. Because a lot of the power from Druid comes from forging their 1 mana spell. I'm just going to highlight it here real quick. Embrace of Nature gets forged, and then they draw a forged copy, and then they get a Nourish, which has both effects and draws and ramps them. And then if you can actually interrupt that with your Ghastly Gravedigger, you have a good chance against Druid too. So yeah, the basic game plan is draw a lot of cards, and then interrupt your opponent on the one hand with Secrets and Gravedigger, and on the other hand keep on clearing boards with Prison Breaker so that you can set a lot of Astalor damage to go face in the end. I currently am not running Queen Azshara, mainly because I forgot to put her in, but I'm not entirely unhappy about not having her in my deck right now. If you want to play with Queen, I think Prison of Yogg location is probably the best card to cut, even though I really like Yogg I really like the Yogg location in all decks that can make good use of card draw. Like a lot of power of the Yogg location is because it very consistently draws you some cards and generates you some value, that a deck that can make good use of card draw likes to play this location. That's why I like it a lot in here, but I think Krakatoa as well as Queen Azshara are good additions to the list, and possible cuts are Breakdance, which is a card that can get stuck in your hand quite a lot, or potentially Prison of Yogg-Saron. Those are the first 2 cards I would cut if I wanted to replace anything. If you want to know anything more, feel free to just come to my stream if you're not already here. Ask a bunch of questions, I'll be happy to answer them.